crypto fund from scratch?
You know, it's hard, but it's not impossible. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I can't predict cycles, but I knew that we were in a cycle where you saw so much fervor and excitement around the space. And I already talked about what makes us different, but I think one thing also is we are a nimble strike force. We don't fish in the same pond. We have the crypto natives, we have efficient execution, we have operators, seasoned operators who really know how to stick the landing. And I think that's reflected in our culture. I would say the only thing that's changed in our strategy as a result of the market correction is really more of a focus on early stage, but we still have our late stage fund. And when we see valuations, which I think we'll still see correct, spoiler, I think we'll continue to see some corrections. And so we might deploy our later stage fund a little bit more slowly. It might not be on an even 50-50 cadence, and that's okay. Long term, our strategy hasn't changed. Long term, we're committed to the space.
How much do you think valuations are going to correct?
You know, it's just, I can't give you a one-size-fits-all answer because crypto is not a monolith. You have some crypto companies that really follow more of an enterprise SaaS business model. You have others that are layer one protocols. You have still others that are consumer-facing applications. And I think one of the things we're seeing right now is the infrastructure layer, and that's where we're spending a lot of our time, by the way. We think more and more use cases will come about when the infrastructure layer is in place. So my own view is we are not rushing to deploy. We're certainly not getting caught up.
Do you get VC FOMO, and
I
how
try
do you
not to
avoid that?
You know, look, I think it's very easy to get into that mindset, right? It's because it's a competitive sport. It's a competitive space. And I think I'd be lying if I said that that doesn't influence anyone. I try to, what I do, and I think I do differently, is I try to take stock of that. Oh, that's the FOMO mentality kicking in. That's bad. Again, you don't want to overcorrect though. What we look for is we look for amazing founders. It doesn't matter if I think valuations will correct. If there are amazing founders, there's a huge TAM. We also look for what's your regulatory plan? If you're launching a token, what's your plan to comply with the law? What's your plan for security, by the way? We've seen a lot of hacks in the space. We want to really dive in there and make sure that the founders have been thoughtful about, especially if they're custodying customer funds, keeping those funds secure. If it's a cross-chain bridge, what are the exploits?
Have you changed your strategy at all, given the downturn? Like, have you backed out of any deals or decided not to do certain deals because the conditions have changed since you raised the fund?
We have decided not to do certain deals. We've never backed out of a deal. We have decided not to do a few deals because we think that pricing was ahead of progress, candidly. And we might have been wrong about that, Emily. We might have been wrong about that. But I think if we were wrong not to do a couple of deals, better that we might have been right. Because if we were wrong about that, I think we can find a way to still invest in those projects later.
Well, one thing I'm hearing is that a lot of dry powder has just stacked up because all these funds raised a lot of money. You raised, what was the biggest fund ever for a single person, not just a woman, anyone. Are you confident you're going to have a place to put all that money?
I am, but if I don't have a place to put it, I'm not just going to go willy-nilly deploy it. One of the things that we told our LPs, even during the period when we raised our fund, which was when crypto was undeniably still on a bull run, we said that we are going to be pretty steadfast sticking to a 2-year deployment cycle. And you know, I think one thing that's changed is that might have lengthened. It certainly hasn't shortened, but we will, again, we feel very good that we have the capital to back great teams when we see them.